Hello, everybody. Welcome to Justice Served Daily. I wanted to go ahead and share some information, and we thought that we would do this video of this coverage separate. This is helicopter footage from WRTV Channel 6 out of Indianapolis News on February 14th of 2017. I wanted to share this with you because this is the actual channel I was watching live that was showing footage on the day that the search was happening. You'll be able to see that they are going around the Delphi area where they know that the search is happening near the Monon High Bridge. And they're closing in on areas that they see police cars or vehicles parked. Anything at the time that they see going on. This was being recorded prior to local news that most news for the day would go on for a 12 noon update. And as you know, the girls were found basically just after 12 noon. So there you see the bridge over the highway. The other side of that, you can see the vehicles, police cars, everything blocked off from the area because of the search team had gathered that morning. Everybody met back up that morning on Tuesday, February 14th. Now, you have to remember that the police were not called until about 5:30 p.m. when they knew it was starting to get dark and the families just couldn't locate the girls at the time, so they know they needed help. And about 6 p.m. in February is when the sunset happens here in Indiana. So it would begin to start getting dark. And the only reason I point that out is that then you're talking from, let's say, 7 p.m. to midnight when the police called the search off this day before, that they're looking around along the trails with flashlights. Now, I know you can hear a little bit of sound. That sound doesn't come out from that. That's the chopper, people listening to other people talking. And on the video recording, original video recording, when it was watching live, you couldn't hear that either. It was just shown exactly like this. Sorry for the bleeps and stuff on there. You have to show this. You can find this on WRTV Channel 6 Facebook page when they were showing this live. Again, they're showing the roads and stuff nearby and around. So you have to remember, too, that on Monday, February 13th, when they're looking for the girls at night, they're looking for girls that they think are lost or maybe got hurt. They're not thinking that they're looking for the bodies of these two girls or bodies that would be hidden. Now, as the helicopter goes around, you will be able to see the search copter that is helping the police looking around. Now you can see that they close in on people who are searching the water. And as you can tell, they're dressed for the water search. They're specific trained people to do so. And as it goes around, you'll eventually be able to see the search copter as well. And I'll just speak in and out and stuff for this. But again, everybody's watching this live. I remember back then thinking, okay, where are they going to find them? What area were they going to be in? Really anxious to hope that they see the girls because, and find the girls. It's just reported missing, and you're watching this live coverage, and it was the only one at the time that was going on, showing live footage at the same time. watching this really brings back the memories of seeing it at the time and never even imagining that. I want to freeze this one right here. Never even imagining what would end up being the outcome of this. Now, they are showing these searchers individually going around. They're all looking for something. They're all going through here, and they will do close-ups and stuff from them. Now, what I want to say and share is that the bodies were not found in the water. If there were bodies that somebody found to the side in the water right there, all of these people would have been rushing over there. The search copter, as well as the news copter, would have seen that there was something in there. Now, what I do want to tell you is that as we get closer to when the chopper has to leave and is told to leave, this footage, which it didn't at the time, because obviously before it was live, has where it will freeze frame towards the ending of the video. You can see the Monon High Bridge. Look how long that is. I mean, I don't think people realize until you see it. If you're a visual person such as myself, it's better to see it. So afterwards, I remember seeing this footage, and you would see, just like it is here, you know, they would close in, back up, and close in and back up on different images from everything. And they obviously, the easiest thing to keep going and concentrating on are the searchers that are in the water. When the search party is looking, now it's daytime. It's not the middle of the night with a bunch of people trying to look around the trails. Now they have the search helicopter. Now they have people in the water. And so when this was live, you could see that they saw that there was attention going on in the water area and some movement. And then it had went up at the time. It had went up at the time and went in the like tree area, and it was due to the fact that you could see that there were a few people gathered in the wooded area just up from where the water is. So on the bank higher up, and you could tell that somebody's there, you know, that people are there. So the cameras at the time did what it's like doing right now. When it was live, it would show where they saw people, right? All of a sudden, it would show, here's some people in the water. Oh, wait a minute, then suddenly we see activity over here in the woods. We see some people standing here in the woods. So as you can kind of see now, they're like looking around, seeing if there's anything to look at or to see where people are. And it showed it at the time. It kind of showed that there were people standing there. It didn't go in like super, super close, but you could kind of tell. And it probably showed it, I want to say, at least twice. And the reason that it did it, as you can tell, the search helicopter, that was going around this long range, just like originally this news helicopter was, before was going completely around this area and a big focus in that. And all of a sudden it saw that the little helicopter, like it's doing now, the search helicopter is now kind of huddling over a certain in particular area. And it kept going in circles at that time in this particular area. Right now you're looking at it. And then we have where what they're doing is they would go down and they would show that. They would show where they were in the water, and then suddenly it was on here. When it got to the parts where it showed the ground twice, those are freeze frame now. And at that point, then we got word from the news, and you can tell it's now kind of like circling around that particular area. When they got word that the bodies were found, then that's when the news helicopter had to leave. And then you're like, oh my gosh, that was probably the area they showed a glimpse of. And I want to play this. We're going to be doing a video later today, God willing here, and showing and talking about, again, the first days of when they're missing. But I want to play just a little clip. This was from Kelsey German with Randall Ray talking about when they were found.
Looking underneath the bridge, and as soon as we'd gotten back to the private drive, somebody yelled up the hill that they found a shoe. And knowing that I dropped the girls off and I remembered what they were wearing, I knew exactly what shoes my sister and Abby were both wearing. So as soon as they yelled up the type of shoe it was, I knew exactly whose it was. It wasn't long after they told us that they'd found the shoe that a searcher found the bodies of the girls. The girls' bodies, knowing that there was somebody. The police said that.
So we know that after the girls' shoe was found, which, now we know this now. And let me say it this way. Now, if you followed the case for a long time, and heard that a shoe was found in the water and on the edge of the water. Can't tell you how deep, how far, how close to the edge. And then also that a pair of underwears. And see, right now, this is frozen. And it is frozen because at the time when this was going on and they had found the shoe in the water, this is when, then of course, searchers would know near where the shoe and stuff was found in the water. And then it was up that bank that they showed people. So, and obviously, you've got them searching now here because, you find a shoe, you find, you know, uh, underwear, whatever. They're going to continue to look to see if there's any other items or whatever, while people on the ground are going to look closer to where they were. So the bodies were up on the ground. They were on the bank. It's kind of steep. You have to walk up it. And items were found in the water. We know that also from, statements, other statements in that too. And we're going to cover some of those because there's a lot of information out there. Again, as you can tell, this is frozen to a spot where at the time they were showing from here that there were some people standing on the bank itself. And I remember how scary and terrifying it was to hear back from the news that 2 bodies were found. And of course, they're going to say they weren't identified yet. And of course, they're going to say, that we don't, we can't say if it's the girls. But to find 2 bodies there when you're looking for them, and then to get confirmation back that 2 little girls went missing the day before, and less than 24 hours, we sit here and know that they're gone. And it was very scary, as any parent could imagine, right? Of hearing that and then wondering what the heck happened. And then also saying that it's being investigated as a homicide. And you can see how, it doesn't, you wouldn't think maybe it's that large, but then if you look at the area, and then the very few amount of homes that are nearby. And at this point, the bodies and stuff had already been found, because then you would see that there was gatherings, like you can tell there's some officers and stuff there talking. And I'm sure where they started basically a very specific grid to look for any more items in the water at the time. And there is you can tell the cemetery right there. And as you probably heard before, that's where a lot of vehicles parked. So you can tell. Here's the cemetery over to the side. There's the bridge. And at this point, you can tell that they have asked them to pull back. And that's why it's a much wider shot and not staying over where the search helicopter was at the time. Now, the other thing that we'll show later is, there are some far off photographs later that shows the crime scene tape around the trees on the bank where they were found. Now, were there items in the water? Absolutely. Did the girls cross the water? I would argue the fact, yes. They were over here on the bridge. They had to go down that hill, and then they end up over on the other side of the water. Those are facts that we know of, right? We know the girls were on the bridge. We know that at 2:07, a photo was uploaded onto Snapchat showing Abby. We know, and again, we'll show this on the full show when we're going through some early day stuff, as this is going to be going out here in just a couple more minutes. It may stay frozen here. I don't remember if they kept this frozen all the way through this or not till the ending, but I want to make sure you see the full amount. We know that the guy was on the bridge. His photo's on the bridge. We know the guy was on the bridge because the family got to hear the full of the 47-second audio/video that was recorded on the phone, which we'll show on the next part of the Delphi missing will show you exactly where they hear and say that they hear the girls talking about is this creepy guy, the scary guy, still following them. Then we know that the guy is saying down the hill. Well, he's saying down the hill because they're on the bridge. He's following them up behind them on the bridge. Abby's not going fast across it. This is her going across the bridge here, slowly, cautiously. I know the photo makes it look like that she's at the edge, but she's not even at the edge of the bridge yet. She's not at the end when it's showing her. So this guy who knows that they're over there is specifically walking on the bridge. It does not take that long to go across if you've been across it before, and we know that he has, so he can catch up with them. They don't think he's going to do anything. They're in their wildest thoughts. They wouldn't think something like that's going to happen. Maybe he's just going to say something to him creepy. But we're going to have a discussion about all of that and some more videos and news clips and all of that we're going to share of Delphi missing, when they were missing. But I wanted to get this out there. So it looks like maybe it's going to end at completely frozen set screen. So think about that. That is why this isn't moving anymore, because they were parts that they had shown where things were, what was happening is cut out of here. It's not there anymore. And, nobody thought about downloading the original footage of when this was happening, because nobody in their mind thought that we would have two girls murdered. I don't want to cut it off early, just in case. We've only got about 40 seconds. So if you do see this and you've seen it before and wonder why it's still on an image for a long period of time, it was because they had to cut footage out that they had. Again, you can find this on WRTV Channel 6 Facebook page. There you go. The last 4 seconds, they just go back to showing a full shot. Oh, and you know what? I think it's trying to restart again. It is. Sorry about that. So you did get to see it. It did end at the still shot. Sorry about that. I ended up restarting that in there. But that is the full screen footage of what was live, other than the actual search helicopter that was going on. At the time, it did show people standing off to the side. As you heard on the very early interview with Kendall Ray, with Kesi, Kelsey makes the comment of how it was found, that she is over on the bridge. There's a call up to say and ask about the shoe and ask her to basically identify the shoe. And then after the shoe is found in the water, then she states that other searchers then find their bodies. I'm not arguing the fact that about the in the water, as far as that the girls were in the water at one point, meaning I think, in my opinion, I think they crossed the water because one, well, they had to cross the water. They had to get to the other side, right? Kind of like why the chicken crossed the road. Well, they had to cross the water because they had to get on the other side and they had to get up that embankment. And a shoe is left in the water. Is that because maybe somebody tried to take off running and the shoe got stuck in the water when they're running? Maybe. Did it just, fall off or whatever? Maybe. And then they're sitting here and they're found in a wooded area up the embankment from where the shoe and underwear are found, which we later learn. We didn't know that then. Obviously, that wasn't released then. And then that's how that they found them. And then the area that's blocked off in the crime scene tape is surrounding trees in a particular area where the girls' bodies were found. It was not blocked off in the water. There was no crime scene tape around the water area. There wasn't anything. If they would not let the helicopters show that there were bodies in the water. That's why the Channel 6 recording was told to get out of there. Channel 6 News, you need to get out. They found the girls. So I just wanted to share that with you. We will be doing another Delphi missing possibly today, and going through just some early videos and discussion and stuff about that. And I appreciate you watching this. And we will also be covering Keegan Kline and his sentencing. And did he get what he deserved? We'll find out. And we will see you again real soon. Thank you for being here. Please click like and please subscribe. And thank you for making sure that justice is served daily. Bye, everybody.